Because everyone's saying they need to release like a Smash Deluxe on Switch, but it would probably just be called Smash for Switch.
Interesting.
Anyway.
Do you have a link for that story with the fighting game, the Evo?
I've got one with the lineup. Do you want the actual controversy?
I don't know, either one. Doesn't matter.
What's the controversy exactly? That it wasn't...
That Marvel vs. Capcom isn't on there for the first year ever, I think. Here.
I think I was reading an opinion piece earlier, and somebody was writing about how the reason why it's not on there is because it wasn't a very good game, just as far as like just from the development of it and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, I mean, it has been a really good year for fighting games in general. So like, there's a stiff competition, but like I said, they always have like one or two that aren't announced in the original lineup. So there's like surprises at the show. So it's probably that, but it's also kind of like, it's kind of asking controversy to not announce it and save one of the better games, quote unquote, for the surprise.
Yeah.
But I'm sure like the fighting community, any game that was left off would have been controversial. So
yeah,
it's whatever.
True. No, yeah. I mean, it is the fighting game scene. It's kind of, it's its own thing.
Yeah. I think it's weirder that there's no Marvel vs. Capcom games on the list, because usually I think 3 is a staple. Like even before Infinite came out, like, or even after Infinite came out, 3's been a staple in a lot of places, I think.
I think last year they were making a big deal that it was going to be like the last time it was there.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Like it was like a huge like thing for that community. It was like that was the last time that game.
I like how they use a picture of Hulk for this article.
Yeah. Hulk mad.
Hulk wants to go to Evo.
I hope we're actually talking about the Toadhead thing, by the way.
Yeah, I think I have.
It's just so stupid.
I'll just Google that one up. Toadhead. Wait, why did it give me animal? Like I'm just googling Toadhead, and it's like the first thing that comes up.
Oh, I thought that would be dangerous.
It gave me an animal first, and then I had to like rework it a little bit.
I think I'm gonna get another drink before we start. Actually,
all right. Man, this new like food thing I'm on right now is really fucking up my system. Like,
yeah, I believe it. It sounds like a pretty drastic change. So I mean,
yeah, it is. Like I could like do small things, but I don't think that's good enough. Like obviously cutting out like the 2 bags of chips I eat every day is really good.
Chips.
I love chips. Chips are so good.
They're so good.
But yeah, like changing over to like hot cereal is like awful. Like I'm probably gonna toss out my hot cereal and just get oatmeal instead. And then I'm probably gonna toss out the super flax seed bread I bought. Or not toss it out, but like I'm gonna eat the stuff until it's gone and never play with it again, because super flaxseed bread is
man,
the
that
worst.
fiber. You gotta get the fiber.
Like I'm eating sandwiches, which is fine, like peanut butter and like no sugar jam stuff spread, which is fine. But like 2 bites after that, and I'm like, I'm done. Can't eat that anymore. Anyways, that's my food.
dang it!
I just want to eat an entire pizza right now. And
It is National Pizza Day.
is it?
In the States, it is, anyways. Apparently, because
I've barely been on Twitter today.
I have a Domino's app, and I just got a notification earlier, and it was like, "Oh, it's National Pizza Day." And then before that, my sister-in-law told me, "He's like, oh, did you know it's National Pizza Day?" I was like, "Oh, no shit! I didn't even know that was a thing. That's cool." I love pizza.
Yeah.
My brother Bruce is on beer, and I forgot they're not twist offs.
Oh,
Oh, That's what you were doing. Oh, I see.
I was like, can I get it without a bottle opener? And no, I could not.
Just brute strength it.
Yeah. Well, because I mean, it's like, you know, it's a self-sealed thing. It's not like super fancy.
Yeah.
I could
It's
probably
not like
bend it. Yeah, they're not that tough, but
I don't even bother with
with
twist offs. I don't even bother twisting them off. I just have like a bottle opener next to me.
Well, I just grabbed it and then ran back here because like I'm used to twist offs, so I didn't even think about it. Then I sit back down. I'm like, I don't want to get up again. Oh well.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's why you have to have one at your desk at all times.
Well, I have one on my keychain, but it's out there too.
Oh.
Damn.
I don't have anything else back here. I was trying to use a nail clipper to.
I've thought about getting
it if you'd stuck with it.
I think I could have, but it wasn't worth it.
I thought about getting a bottle opener for my keychain, but like all the ones I see online look like garbage.
Yeah, mine was a souvenir from our road trip from Colorado. It's like a bear claw.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It used to say something, but it's been wiped off. But
yeah,
it opens ears.
I mean, if it's on a keychain, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Charge Shot Gamescast. Each and every week, friends gather around and talk about not the news, but the video games they've been playing and the shit that's going on in their lives. This week, I'm brought with me today is Justin.
One of these days, I think you'll learn how to speak, and then we'll be podcasting with gasoline. Also, hi, everyone.
And I also have Lo with me today.
How's it going, everybody? I thought we were podcasting with gas before.
I mean,
we're podcasting with gas, as in like we're all like, well,
gassy.
Me and Thomas are unhealthy and and flatulent, probably. But we should be podcasting with gasoline, as in fuel to
like
make us better at
fuel the fire.
Yes.
Nice. I get it now. I get it. Yes, we do need the podcast with gasoline. What are we doing? We're messing up.
Yeah.
Weird enough, I might be going up north tomorrow, so I might have some gasoline for some bonfires.
You're already up north.
Well, further up
north. Can you go further north?
What? Yeah, right.
I live in a town. I'm going to like the boonies, like the sticks. Where there's
I always thought it was like Skyrim. I always thought it was just like Skyrim. You just keep walking. You just eventually you can't go any further. You can't go any further.
Oh, you can always go further in Skyrim. You just have to take your horse up a hill.
Yeah, exactly.
A mountain.
That's true. Damn horse physics, though. Just chilling on the horse.
I assume you can just always continue in Skyrim. I never got to a border.
No, I got to at one point. I tried to go down this one road, and it's like you can't go any further. There was like a little piece of text at the bottom. I was like, oh, okay. I could like, if I go into the console and console it up. No clip. I could probably no clip my way, but there's probably nothing there. So
I hate when games do that.
Yeah, invisible walls.
Yeah.
To be fair, you have to go pretty far in order to find one, though. But I feel like Skyrim ruined a lot of games for me because like whenever like I'm in like an open world like first person type of game, I'm always trying to like glitch my way up like rock faces and stuff, and I'm like, how come I can't? There's like a legitimate invisible wall on this rock face. I'm like, oh, all right, this isn't Skyrim.
Well, that's one thing about Breath of the Wild is, like you can go anywhere, like literally anywhere. And on 3 or 4 sides, you're surrounded by either like water where your stamina runs out before you get to the end, or like a chasm where, you can only glide so far and then you fall. But for some reason, there's one side where there's like a weird little outcropping that you can just walk along. Like my brother theorized there was going to be another continent or something up there with the DLC, because you can just walk it and then like it gives you an invisible wall and says you can't go any further. And it's like, why did you do such a good job of blocking everything off on every other side just to have this one little like islet that has an invisible wall on it? It doesn't make any sense.
Weird.
So we assumed something was going to be there, and there still hasn't been anything there. But yeah, it's so annoying when they do stuff like that. I hate it.
That'd be cool if they did just come out of nowhere. It's like, hey guys, you get a whole other continent for you to explore. Have fun. How cool would that be?
Probably not at this point, unfortunately.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Maybe they'll bring something in later. Yeah. They have those 2 DLC packs, so maybe they'll put in another one this year.
Maybe. But I think, unlike Final Fantasy 15, that game was actually done when they shipped it.
Oh, sick burn.
Pew, pew, pew. That would have been more effective without the cough in the middle.
I keep popping up. Like that Final Fantasy 15 keeps popping up in my Steam. Like whenever I boot up Steam, or even when I'm updating my graphics drivers, the NVIDIA thing is like, hey, there's this is coming. It's a thing. Get hyped. I'm like, I'm trying to resist, but also at the same time, like I want to indulge. I don't know.
It's because your friends have like all the Final Fantasy games.
Yeah.
And so it's pushing it to you now.
It's been a long
I've been
time
the
since
same
I
way with
like
Final
played,
Fantasy
like,
12 now that it's on PC.
Yeah.
That's another one too. Like I kind of want to check it out, and I don't know. Actually, no, I take that back. 14. When I played 14 with Justin. That was a really cool game. Like I feel like the only thing stopping me from playing it more is the fact that there's that subscription. So I don't know.
If the free stuff was better, like it has plenty of microtransactions in it, they don't really need the subscription now. Right. But their quote unquote free trial is terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's unfortunate. But they have new like Final Fantasy 6 content in it. There's like Kefka and stuff as a raid battle.
That's no way. That's awesome.
Yeah, it looks super cool. Because between him being in the new Dissidia, I believe, and also being like DLC in 14 lately, there's like a resurgence of Final Fantasy 6, and I hope it means something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah.
Like a 3D remake that doesn't look like trash?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I'd love that. I'd freaking love that.
To be fair, there isn't a 3D remake. There's only a port that looks like trash.
Yeah.
It's still 2D.
It's still
there was oh boy.
Yeah, there's like I think I own all those copies of games of the Final Fantasy games on Steam that like they're like the mobile versions, and they look like absolute garbage, like chibi Final Fantasy.
Yeah. They even have the Final Fantasy 4 version on there that's from the DS, like the DS remake of it, but it's the mobile port of the DS remake.
Yeah, it's what? Why would you do that?
Port of a port?
Yes, because they took that version and put it on mobile with like touchscreen and like, you know, higher res menus and stuff, but it plays like garbage because it's meant to be used with like a touchscreen, whereas the DS, you know, original DS port was really good, despite, you know, the obviously a little bit lower res graphics and stuff. But that's where they made the 3D engine, and the voice acting and all that stuff is from the DS version. It just had actual, you know, controls in it because it was a DS game. So they could have just up-resed the DS port, but no, they took the mobile one, and it's garbage. I was going to get that because I love that port, but nope, not the mobile version.
No.
I don't get it. Square makes weird decisions.
They do.
They really do. Like, why? It's frustrating.
Speaking of, do we want to go into what I've been playing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So, very little. I don't know. I wasn't really like, I was playing some old random like Marvel games and stuff this week, but I wanted to have something to contribute, so I downloaded the Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition that came out yesterday. Actually, I was going to get it yesterday and then forgot, so I just downloaded it when I got home. And that game is large. It's like a 500 megabyte download to get into the game. And then you see the opening cutscene, which is literally just the opening cutscene from the regular game, but in an ugly chibi graphics form. It looks great. Like, it's really high resolution and bright and colorful and everything. It's just, I hate the actual like models, like the character models.
Yeah.
They look really dumb. But graphically, it's really impressive for a mobile game.
You playing this on your phone or on the Switch? Does the Switch have this one or no?
Have what?
The mobile version, because I'm
no, they were talking about porting it to the Switch. Like they said, if they did put this on the Switch, it would be that version.
Oh, okay. All right.
And actually, I'd be totally okay with that, honestly. Like, more people that can play it, and I'll get into it, but it's not a bad port. I think it would do well on the Switch. But anyway, so you do the opening cutscene. It goes through the whole thing for like 5 minutes or whatever, and then it goes to the opening screen for the game, like the new game screen. Tap new game, and it goes immediately to another download screen for another 500 megabytes.
Oh no!
Yep.
So like I got it downloaded and like pulled it up, and then I still had to wait to actually play it.
You download.
So I finally, after like a gig of game download, which is huge for a phone game, and that's only the first chapter, by the way. Because first chapter is the only thing that's free. So I assume each chapter is about 500 megabytes.
Oh man.
Of a 10-chapter game, by the way. And then you actually get into the game. You do the car pushing thing. It kind of explains how like it's all like tap to move type stuff. But it is the game. Like, it is Final Fantasy 15, a console game, just kind of like downgraded to mobile. Everything plays the same. The action is all the same. The maps are a little more simplified, and I'd honestly prefer it be a little more zoomed out than it is, because you have to tap away to the map and then go back out, and it can be kind of hard to tell which direction you're going once you get in somewhere. But screen real estate, that's always a problem in a handheld game.
True.
Yeah, I think it plays really well. I actually like the combat more than the console version, because it's a little more simplistic. So basically, you tap an enemy and you auto attack. You just kind of run up and you don't have to like keep hitting a button or anything. And when you're far away and you tap and hold on an enemy, you do your teleport attack in. You tap icons on the screen to do your team attacks. And then you can hit there's like an icon up where that's like a healing item, and it kind of pulls up a quick menu of your different healing items. You can quick tap that, it heals you. You tap away, it goes back out to the action again pretty quick. And your parry and your dodge and stuff is a context button that comes up. It's like a quick time event basically. If you tap it quickly, you do a parry. If it like goes further down the wait time, it does a dodge instead. If you miss it entirely, you miss. Whereas in the actual game, parries are impossible to time, at least for me, because I'm not good. And so this feels more attainable. So I was parrying pretty regularly. Sure, you could call it easy, but I find it attainable. All of the voice acting is in there. There's actually a few new lines too. There was one little section that was a very obvious cash-in type thing, where they like find some like board game or whatever on a table, and they're like, "Oh, this is just like this game that we love," and it like pulls up a menu, and it's like, "Would you like to download this game that they're talking about?" And it's like some other little like fantasy like strategy type game. So I will say that it doesn't seem like there's any microtransactions in this game. Like I said, the first chapter is free, and then if you want the rest, you just buy it chapter by chapter. So it's kind of nice. Like, it's refreshing to just have a game, like no energy or anything like that. You just buy the chapters that you want.
You just get product placement in it. That's all.
Yeah, but I think whatever that game was free. It was just a publicity thing, and I'm pretty sure it was another like Square made RPG, and it kind of looked cool. So whatever. The Play Store is oversaturated. I get it, and that was an optional thing. You just like find it's a context button you tap. It's like talking to an NPC. You go up and it's like, oh, this is a thing that we can interact with, blah, blah, blah. You don't have to go up to that. But yeah, all the missions are the same as far as I've seen. You go across the maps. There's like little blinky things on the ground. You run over them and it automatically picks up the item. There's other things like crates and other things you can interact with to like, break them and get an item from those. Enemies kind of lock you into a little like grid space. You can free roam inside of, but it just kind of keeps you from going too far out of the way. I think if you leave that space, it like de-triggers the battle, because different buttons obviously work in battle that don't work outside of battle, things like that. But yeah, it all feels really smooth. It plays really nicely. I never get into mobile games, but I'm actually enjoying this quite a bit. I did have one crash on a loading screen, which was unfortunate after I completed a mission. and the loading screens are long. Like I said, the game itself takes forever to download, and then the loading screens between scenes are pretty long. There's a few stutters, even though I'm running on a Pixel 2, so there's probably not a lot of Android phones that could run this game. But yeah, I mean, it's surprisingly solid. Like, I'd say, Lo, if you're curious about Final Fantasy 15, check this out because it is the game. Like, it's touchscreen controls and it's a little more simplistic graphically, but it is the game. So if you like that, I think you'd like the full thing on console or on PC too.
Cool. Yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah, really, anyone that's curious about Final Fantasy 15, give it a try. If you can get through the gig-long download for the game. It's all the same voice acting and stuff from the console, which is really good. I mean, the touchscreen controls actually function pretty well in this game. I'm impressed. So that's pretty much all I have to contribute. I just wanted to have something new to talk about, so I figured, hey, it's free, whatever. But yeah, with our Final Fantasy talk, it seemed relevant. So
for sure, absolutely. That's cool.
So I guess that leaves me. So I think it was earlier this week. Thomas and I played some Resident Evil 5.
Yeah, we did Tuesday.
And yeah, that's what day it was. I have horrible. My ability to track the days is terrible. So, so we played Resident Evil 5. I actually streamed a little bit of it for like an hour or so. I was like, oh, let's hit the stream button, see what happens. Cool. Like, I'm not very good at Resident Evil games, I've realized. Here's the thing with Resident Evil 5, because it was one of those games where I never really played it myself, but I would always watch my brother and my sister. They loved the co-op and run through the story mode. Just watching it was just like, wow, this is crazy. It's like watching a SWAT team like in action, only it's like 2 people and there's a bunch of zombies. Anyways, so this is like my first time actually playing the game. So it's like, it was weird because first of all, like the controls for this game, it's like you can tell that they were meant for like, it's better suited for like a controller, because like just aiming, like the fine aim, I guess is what it is. Like when I don't know, it's just really like weird. And then
there's
like
2 different sensitivities
really...
between like actually walking around and then aiming.
Yes.
So
yeah. So then when you're running, it's another sensitivity too, and you can't like, I couldn't like turn around with the mouse as I was like sprinting, and it was weird. It was weird. So I kept like getting caught by stuff.
Yeah, so like for example, when you're running around and looking around and stuff without aiming, it's completely fine. Like it's not fine, it's actually kind of slow. And when you do aim, it's incredibly fast. Like it's way too fast. Yeah. So you turn down the sensitivity and the aiming's fine, but the running around is like even slower than it was before. So it's not a good PC port. Like if you were gonna play this game, probably play it with a controller.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I would always play Resident Evil with a controller. It's a console game.
Yeah, but you know, some people play with mouse and keyboards. They don't play with controllers. Yeah. Before we played Resident Evil, we tried to play Gears of War 4 on PC, and that was such a failure.
Gears of War, Windows Store.
That was a thumbs up and a thumbs down for audio listeners.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, thank you.
Solid podcasting.
So yeah, like the game is actually like it's all right. I get a little bit of frame rate issues, but I'm pushing it really hard, so I might want to fix that up a little bit. But trying to connect to Lo and actually like get into his game and play his campaign, or just even playing multiplayer with him was super hard. We had to go into the Xbox app on the Windows, not the Windows Store, but the Windows 10 like applications, and then I had to join his party or join his game through that system, and it would just keep kicking us out. Like we tried going into each other's games, it would just keep constantly kicking us out, saying it's a firewall issue, but our firewalls were fine.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And then also like you would think I would just be able to just hit invite on, the lobby screen and just invite him to the game, but no, it just got lost somewhere.
There's supposed to be like a pop-up invite or something, like saying that you sent me an invite, but no.
I might I might get it the next time I boot up Gears of War.
Yeah.
It's a delay or something.
We thought about
either way.
We
It's
thought
not
about
good.
like having me on the Xbox while you're on the PC, and maybe that would work. But we didn't even want to try that. Like, who cared at that point? Play
Does that
Because
work?
I've jumped into.
Like, is there crossplay between
Yes,
PC
there
and
is.
Xbox?
Yes.
I've jumped into horde mode games before, and my icon, there's a little icon. It looks like a desktop monitor or something like that. It's
Yeah.
I guess it's supposed to represent being on a PC, and I played with 3 other dudes on. They were on consoles, so
Yeah.
it was pretty cool. But I guess it's only cooperative. That's crossplay. Is that right? No
I
competitive
don't
or
know.
anything like that?
I don't. Gears competitive has
I don't
never
think
been
they
my
would have.
thing. I never cared about it.
Gears competitive is like its own like it's a weird beast.
I had a friend who
I
was
don't even
super
touch
into it, and he dominated.
Yeah?
So I don't know. Like, it's not my thing.
I just can't watch it. Like it's just like jumping in the cover, like rolling, and just all this like I don't know. It's just
A lot
too
of
much,
rolling and
like-
shotguns, from what I've heard.
yes, pretty much. Rolling in shotguns,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah, Resident Evil is
Um,
cool though. Like we are
Oh, yeah.
like, it actually had like, it popped up like what was it, the Windows Live games for Windows thing, and we were just like, oh no, because we thought
never
maybe
gonna
the
play a
online
game
was
together.
taken off or something. So yeah,
Most games had that patched out. I know some of the early Fallout games still had issues with it.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it worked. It's like incredible
Yeah.
that this game still has multiplayer support for it.
It was pretty awesome. It was a pretty popular kind of co-op game. Well, at least in my house. I don't know.
You
It's
figured
just
like 9
amongst other
years
people.
later, maybe they just take the servers down or something. But no.
That's true. Yeah. But yeah, the only other game I played this week, it's actually another cover-based shooter. And get this, guys, I actually finished it. I beat
What?
the game. It's
No.
Spec Ops:
You
The Line.
beat a game?
Low can't beat
Yeah.
games. He just looks.
I
at
finished
them.
it. I saw the credits. The credits rolled, and everything, and it went back to the main screen. And I was like, "Oh, I beat it! Woo! Woo, what's this feeling? This weird feeling I have in my heart. It was a sense of accomplishment. So I think I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna try this thing out and see it. That aside, though.
Yeah, but how many
Besides-
pictures did you take first?
Oh, I do this new thing, right? So usually when I record, I'll like just record me just playing the game. Then I'll go back, rewatch it. I'm like, oh, that's a cool scene. Then I'll just do, because VLC player, which I use to watch all my stuff, and just do like a little screenshot thing. And it does a pretty good job getting screenshots. So
That's
I do it that way.
Okay.
Instead of just hitting the button every time, because then I never get anything done. Because I'm like, oh, screenshot, cool. Oh, I'm gonna take another one. Oh, hey, look. Oh, look over here, cool.
You
Oh,
found
is
a
that
novel
Jeff-
way to play a game and get pictures of it.
Yeah.
I love this obsession of yours.
Yes, but anyways, back to the game itself that I beat. Yeah, Spec Ops: The Line. It was a really. I went into it expecting like, oh, this is a generic like third person like military modern combat shooter with cover mechanics and all this shit, and it's quite a bit more than that. I don't want to spoil anything, but like the story to this game is really, really, really well done. And I might piss off some people by saying this, but I don't care what anybody says, but I feel like this was one of Nolan North's best performances that I've ever heard.
Oh yeah,
Like,
of course.
Yeah, and it just if you're just go play it. That's all I really have to say. I don't want to like talk too much about like the mechanics themselves, like the cover mechanics or like whatever, like the shooting's fine, and like you can like issue like really basic commands to like the other two guys that are with you, but I mean it's really the story that this is all about. So
Yeah.
play this game for the story, and if you want something that's like a decent shooter but has a really, really, really good story, I highly recommend it. So.
Yeah. I guess I'll say a couple things just so people knows what it's about. It's like it takes inspiration from Heart of Darkness. And I've never read the book or seen any of the movies or whatever it is. But it takes inspiration from that, and it treats like PTSD and like stuff like that about war. Like it actually has things to say about war and what it does to people for everyone involved.
And there
Yeah,
were also
I remember
just,
you bought me that game a while back, and I still haven't gotten to it. Maybe I should.
It's good.
It's good, and there are these moments where it's like it's giving you a choice. And then the game's yelling at you to make one choice, but then it's yelling at you to make another choice. And then when you make a choice, then it yells at you for the choice that you made. It's really confusing, but it's the way it's presented. It just like the story like flows really well. Like I'm gonna play through the story again, like not just because like I want to like make different choices and see what happens, because I have a feeling like
it probably doesn't matter. Yeah,
it probably not. But it was just really good. Just the pacing. It like I think it was like something like 15 chapters or something. Each chapter is kind of like an area you go through. But yeah, I think I beat it in like maybe 3 sittings. I like played a couple of
it's not that
I'd play
long.
a couple of missions. I'd play a couple of chapters and be like, I need to take a break from this. This is a little bit too much for me right now.
Yeah.
So I'd have to step away and then boot it up the next day. But yeah, it's a really awesome game. I really enjoyed playing it just for the dialogue and the interactions and just all that kind of stuff. So
Yep.
I think
it does a really cool thing with the menu. Since you played through 3 days, maybe you know what it is. But as like when you boot it up, it's kind of like the Star Spangled Banner, and like everything looks like nice and done up. But as you get out of the game, come back, and you're further along in, the flag is like deteriorating, and like it's starting to become night, and like the startup screen like starts deteriorating, which is really cool. I like stuff.
And
like
I believe it's Jimi Hendrix's performance of the Star Spangled Banner.
Is it really? That's cool. Yeah, there's some really good music choices for this one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, a lot of good music in this game for sure. Yeah. It's like really good. It's queued up really well too.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, totally. And there's a fair bit of destruction in it too. You can like, if you shoot at certain like bits of cover, you can like blow stuff up and like shoot it down and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. Like it's not a bad looking game. Like it looks pretty damn good. So
yeah, I've probably played and beat it maybe 3 times, which is a lot for me. But yeah, it's good. So that's all you've been up to. All right, cool.
Yeah.
I haven't played much this week. Oh, actually, that's a lie. I keep forgetting about one game that I'll talk about later. But right now, I'll tell you about Unravel. Do you guys remember that one?
Oh yeah,
I remember that one. Yeah.
With Yarny.
Yeah, Yarny's Woolly World.
Yes. It's taken over the slot of my nighttime game, because I've been struggling to find a nighttime game, and it's really like nice and soothing to play, or at least for now, anyways. While I'm drifting off to sleep, like the game kind of opens up with like this. I think it's grandma or something, just like going through the story, like her life or whatever, and there's not really a lot of story there other than just like the surrounding, like what you pick up from your surroundings. But you're just like this yarn creature that slowly unravels while you walk, and so you have to keep getting more yarn, and the more yarn you pick up is just checkpoints. And there's some really cool stuff that they do with it, like if you jump off of something and you like wrap it around, you could start swinging. You could pull yourself up if you jump off a ledge. There's some neat things like that, which is pretty cool. I think I'm on the level where I'm on a beach, and so like there's like a part in the level where the water rises up and you have to not jump in the water. I don't know why. Like I guess yarn gets soggy in the water. I don't know. Can't hold a form. But yeah, like it's like,
soggy yarn.
Soggy yarn. Yeah, there's really not a whole lot to it right now, other than just like it's a nice, relaxing, like feel good game. Sometimes you'll see in the background of things going on, so like kids are playing with a kite on a beach or something. Yeah.
Nice.
The other game I've been playing has been Monster Hunter. I've been playing that for a couple weeks now. Monster Hunter World.
Everyone's playing Monster Hunter.
It's really good. What if I told you this is fantasy Destiny with better loot?
I still don't care about the loot game though. It's such just kill a monster, cut off his skin for parts, take that to get new armor sets. Okay, do it again. Like, there's no hook there.
The hook is the loot. The loot looks incredible. Like, you have your palico as well. that you fill it up with loot. Like, you put like a little cute like, I don't know what it's called. The ice guys.
Fedora.
Like the hoodie, the ice hoodie things. What are they called?
I have no idea. Ice hoodie.
I don't know. My best friend since 7th grade got the Monster Hunter PS4 Pro, like the special edition one, and was trying to explain to me the point of Monster Hunter, and he couldn't do it. So no one's going to be able to do it.
It's literally
I always just thought of it as
it's literally just a loot grind, and also I'm actually having fun like exploring the mechanics of how each weapon works. Right now I'm only on the.
I think that's where I get lost. There's too much to learn.
You could just it's the way this one does it though. It breaks it down, point by point. So like, it might take a while to get into. Like it took me a while to get into it. Not gonna lie, but the way it does it in this one, the tutorializing, is that you run into something that's for the first time. It'll like do a couple of screens of how this works, and maybe a video in case if that's needed as well. So like that actually really helps me figure out like, all right, I'm stuck here. I don't know what this is. Oh, it tells me what it is. There's a video of it. I can check it if I forget what it is, which I've only done once, which is for trapping. But I think that's why it's sinking in with me this time. Before, when I played Monster Hunter on the Wii U, I don't think it had any of that. So I was like, it gave me a farm, and I was like, what the fuck's the point of this farm? It's like, I get nothing from this thing. And now that I have a farm, like, I still I don't get a whole lot to it, but I need to upgrade it a little bit to get the rarer materials, because the materials it's giving me now, I've already collected a whole bunch of them, because I'm doing a bunch of different quests. And so I really enjoy, like, just the loot grind. Like, I sent out pictures, like, you need to see the loot that I've got, which is incredible. Like, there's like a really cool chest piece that I got that's just like wood stuff that's popped up, like wood and bone. And there's like a really cool helmet that I have. It's super cool. And let me talk back about the weapons. I'm only playing with the sword and shield, which is like the beginner's newbie weapon, but I like the combo setup that you can have with it. Like, it took me a while to learn actually the combos. There's a practice area where you can go into and practice them. I don't really like the practice area all that much, so I don't go in there. But like actually fighting other monsters, I'm able to do like a sweet ass combo with my sword and shield, where I can like launch like smaller enemies up, or I can just launch myself up and then come down on an enemy and just stab them. Like, there's some really cool stuff in there, and sometimes like the animations are slow and monotonous, but like you actually have to like plan this stuff out. It's not just like a hack and slasher, which is fine, but the loot grind is what's really got me.
Sounds like a Fashion Hunter more than Monster Hunter.
Hell yeah. Like, I stopped doing the story missions just to upgrade like my canteen, which is the food area, and upgrade my botanist, which is the farm. And this is like, I'm probably done with that. Now I have to go do a main quest.
All right. I talked to Uncle Gunther.
Yeah.
Oh, come up in the morning.
All right.
So make sure you dress warm down or something.
All right.
I mean, I'm happy everyone is enjoying their Monster Hunter. I don't get it. Like, I don't really care to get it. I don't get it, and that's it. Like,
I don't blame you.
it feels like it came out of nowhere, because Monster Hunter's been around since like the early PSP days, but suddenly now everyone has to play it. And like, what changed? Like, what's so different about this one that's made it the biggest thing?
I think it's the fact that it's actually on a console now. Like, before it was on handheld devices, and it looked like shit, and it was all grimy. And like,
I played it on PS2 the first time.
Yeah, like I think those ones back then, where it was like it was a lot more niche and not a lot more out there. Like, it wasn't like in the main population. Like, people weren't talking about it at all. And so it really gained a lot of traction on handhelds. And so like people who didn't care about like graphics and stuff, they just played the game. Like that was fine for them. But now that it's on an actual big boy console and it looks great, I think that's the real issue here. There's still a lot of like weird stuff about it. Like there's a lot of menus that you go into, and the crafting system is still like not good at all. Like you like sifting through pages and pages of what you can craft, what you might be able to craft, and stuff that you don't even know you could craft, because there's like question marks for some of the things that you can't craft or that you can craft but you just don't have the materials for. I think the upgrade system might be a little bit confusing. That could be streamlined a little bit more. I'm getting to the point where I now need to like see which monsters I have to fight and what materials I need in order to build up my my armor and weapons. But yeah, like its hooks got into me when I started getting armor that looked awesome, and I was actually able to learn how to play with the one weapon set that I have, and I kind of want to like branch out into some of the other stuff, like the guns or the bows rather. But anyways, that's Monster Hunter. I'm gonna play a lot of Monster Hunter in the future, but this is my one episode where I get to talk about it.
Because you forgot last week, because it's so important.
It's a good loot grind.
Endorphins.
Yeah. I haven't played. It's taken over the Destiny slot for me. So that's.
Ooh.
Like I said, that's Monster Hunter is like fantasy Destiny, in my mind. All right. All right. So we haven't done game release anticipated games for 2018 yet. I was just waiting on Ben, but Ben's work is being jerks, so
yeah,
we have to do it without him, unfortunately. So we already missed the first month of January, which is basically just Monster Hunter and Dragon Ball FighterZ.
And Celeste.
Celeste was February, isn't it?
No.
No? I thought that came out like
it came out
a week ago.
No, it was like, I think it was late January, but there was something else too.
Dissidia Final Fantasy NT.
Yeah, that was it. Dissidia.
Yeah, you're right. Late January. So Celeste. Iconoclasts.
That was supposed to be really good too.
Kirby Battle Royale.
Oh yeah.
Escapist 2.
Let me pull this up.
Digimon Cyber Sleuth, Hacker's Memory. People that care about Digimon.
Nope.
Anyways,
Street Fighter 5 again.
Yeah, arcade edition.
Oh yeah.
But let's go into the future where we are in February. So let's see. Is there anything here that's worth pointing out?
Shadow of the Colossus, the remake.
Yeah.
Not one I'll pick up, but it's a big release. It just came out.
UFC 3. I actually have a time trial for that. I might want to try that out. There's like a whole mode in UFC 3 where it's basically like a fighting game, and Snoop Dogg does the commentary for it.
Nice.
So
Wow.
he just sounds like he's baked out of his mind going, oh man, what a hit.
Nice.
That's just his voice these days.
Yeah.
Yep.
He smokes so much that's his permanent voice.
Yep. Dynasty Warriors 9, which is just funny because they're still making those
9?
apparently. Yeah.
They're only on 9.
I feel like they're behind.
Well, that's the main series. There's been a bunch of others.
That's true. Yeah, there's the side ones like the Empires and Extreme Legends. Legends.
And the spin-offs, like not Dynasty Warriors games, but still Warriors games.
Yeah.
The Nintendo ones, yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many.
The Secret of Mana remake comes out in a few days, which I've heard mixed things about. Bayonetta 1 and 2 on the Switch.
Yep.
The 16th. Should be pretty big.
We also get Fee or Faye or
Faye. It's Faye. But that actually looks really good. And it's been getting some good previews and stuff too. So I might have to check it out.
Yeah.
I said I want Celeste, but I'm not sure. Like Faye is one that like they showed her in an old Nintendo Direct and looked super good like before I even knew what Celeste was. So I think Faye might take precedence just because like the gameplay style seems more like what I enjoy. Celeste is more of like a Meat Boy, but with some more fair stuff at play. Like you can actually like slow down the game if it's too hard for you, and create like an assist mode and things like that. So it's attainable for me, but I think Faye is still probably more my style, so I'll probably pick that up first. But Metal Gear Survive on the 20th.
Oh yeah.
I've heard
the big release.
I've heard it's not terrible. I've seen some
Me
stuff
too.
and it doesn't look
Really?
that bad. Like it looks okay. It looks like serviceable.
It just seems like such a shoehorned kind of concept.
It
You're
very
doing
much
it
does,
pulled into another dimension. And it's just there's zombie things too, and Survive Metal Gear.
Yeah,
Metal Gear.
I'm conflicted about.
I'm
this
sure it's a
because
bad Metal Gear game, but I mean that doesn't make it a bad game.
Like they could have called it something else, and it would have been fine.
I'm conflicted about this because I kind of don't want to support Konami for what they've done to that team, but I also kind of want to see what's actually in there. Like maybe they brought back a snake, like Liquid or Solid or something.
That would be weird.
Because you're not going to call it Metal Gear Survive without putting Metal Gear shit in there, right?
I mean, it does have a single player campaign.
Yeah.
So there's something to grasp onto there.
Yeah. Anyways.
For like 5 seconds, we're Mother Base.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only Metal Gear thing.
All right. Final Fantasy 15 on PC, which we're the Royal Edition actually. It's just all consoles, but
all platforms except for the Switch.
Already mentioned that.
Scribblenauts,
Devil May Cry Collection. The Crew 2. Which actually does seem kind of interesting. That's the one that brings in like planes and stuff. And then my game of the month, Kirby Star Allies. Totally getting that for my birthday.
That game looks rad.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
Kirby and co-op, dude. It's a beautiful combination.
Except when my friends left me, but Brooke said she'll play it with me, so.
Okay.
I helped my friend move last weekend, and it was kind of bittersweet. And then we've got Sea of Thieves on the 20th, which should also be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I still don't really know what to think of that, but I'm willing to give it a try. And A Way Out, which I thought was actually coming later in the year, but A Way Out on the 23rd.
No, they've announced it since March, or for
March
for a while.
I can't remember when it was coming.
Yeah,
but because March is a bigger month than I realized, I guess.
Yeah.
Because then we've got Detective Pikachu, which people will buy on 3DS, Ni no Kuni 2, and Far Cry 5. So pretty big titles that day. Like, if you look at it, I mean, our re-release of Final Fantasy 15 isn't the biggest thing, but The Crew 2, Kirby Star Allies, Attack on Titan 2 will have an audience, Sea of Thieves, A Way Out, Detective Pikachu, Ni no Kuni 2, and Far Cry 5, and MLB The Show 18.
Yeah,
all coming out that day. Or all coming out that month, I mean.
Yeah. Has March always been this packed, or are we just like noticing this now?
It was pretty packed last year because if you think like just with Horizon and Zelda,
just the
and
Switch
a few other
launch
things,
in general.
I think that was it For Honor, I believe.
Yeah.
I can't remember what else. There were a few other things. But
I think Persona was around that time, or maybe it was.
Yeah, it was the 27th. I want to say.
Yeah.
It was a few days. It was like later in the month, but yeah. And then in April, we've got Yakuza 6 for Thomas.
Yeah, I'm getting that
And
one.
God of War.
God of War. I don't know. It feels too soon.
Yeah.
God of War.
That I think
That's
I'm
what
gonna
it's
hold
called,
off
right?
on that
God of
one.
War?
Like I want to wait and see how it plays out. It's too different.
It's an interest. Yeah, it's like a very different direction they're taking the series, and it's just I don't know. Like I feel like it's I feel like a lot of people share your kind of sentiment in that it's just kind of a jarring sort of change. So it's like this isn't God of War, you know? It's like some third person action game with some like grumpy old man and a kid. You know,
Yeah,
so
Well, I don't really like God of War 3 either. Like I freaking loved God of War. Like the classics, like on PS2, and then the PSP ones are actually really good too. I had the collection with like all of them up through 3, and so I played all of them, beat all of them, and then got to 3, and I was like, I'm not enjoying this. I played the first like hour or so of it, and I didn't like the new graphic style because I couldn't really. Everything felt too real, I think. Because you know, like in the old games, it's like it kind of had that Prince of Persia style where you could tell where the handholds were. You could see things like flicker, and you knew what was interactable. 3 just felt like you were grasping at straws the whole time, and it looked pretty, but I didn't enjoy running around the world because it was confusing at what you could do. And I feel like this one's trying to take that even a step further of like making it more of like a almost an open world adventure game.
Yeah.
When the best parts I thought were the exploration stuff, like just the platforming, not necessarily exploration.
The platforming.
I liked it. I don't know.
The weird, awkward or the jumps that he would do, like it was really weird.
It worked for me because there was the like the edge grabbing where you couldn't like fall off on accident. It would kind of like. That's one example where, like in old games, like old platformers, I didn't mind the invisible walls because they kept you on track.
Yeah.
And if it fit the style of the game, it was fine. Once you open it up and you still have invisible walls, it's awkward.
I just want to mention real quick, did you guys ever play the mobile version of God of War for like Motorola Razrs?
No.
Okay.
Say that I did.
I played a lot of random mobile games. But,
I can't even remember what it was called, but it was like a God of War game where it was basically
God of War Betrayal?
Maybe. It was like a side-scrolling action platformer.
Huh.
I feel like no one has ever played this but me, but I had it on my Razr back in the day.
I definitely have not.
It looks like there's multiple.
Are there?
Weird.
I think it might have just been called God of War. It's so weird. But anyways, I just wanted to bring that up because it's a weird thing that I don't think anyone's ever heard of.
Because there's this God of War Betrayal game. It's like an old Java mobile game. It looks very much like you move screen to screen and do like awkward.
Oh, one of those.
Yeah. But then there's a newer looking one. This is called God of War Mobile Edition. And it's like kind of like modern mobile graphics and stuff.
God of War Betrayal is definitely the game that I played when I was a child in high school.
Okay.
That is definitely the game that I played. But yeah.
Yeah, there's multiple God of War mobile games apparently.
That's weird. But yeah, like I enjoyed 3. I thought that was fine. Like it was good. For this God of War, like it looks interesting. I think it's going in a new direction that I kind of like, but I'm not sure if I'm ready to fork out full price for it.
Yeah.
That's all. Since I'm gonna probably get Yakuza 6 anyways before.
See.
Are you gonna get a Nintendo Labo on 420 with your marijuana sticks?
Like I said before, I'm really glad this is being made. I think it's a super cool idea, and I love how clever it is.
Yeah.
But it's not for me.
All right.
And that's fine, people. It's fine for things to be cool, but not aimed at you.
Yeah.
Okay? Calm down. But I will say, like, they showed off the software. Like some of the influencers and stuff have been getting the early kits, and the software has this thing called Labo Garage in it, and you can basically use this to like create your own labos, like just cut out of cardboard or whatever you want, and you can like create your own little games inside this garage that like maps different functions to the different things. So it's like you could build like a sword or something and like map different functions to the, you know, to the Joy-Con that you put in different parts of this sword or something to do like essentially it has a create your own Labo function. And that hasn't really been discussed. And I think that could be super cool as far as like, you know, engineers and stuff that want to kind of come up with creative ideas and like, you know, draw out their own patterns and put those online for people to make.
Yeah.
Because they already said they're going to have all of the patterns available for free online. So if you just want to like, you know, get your own like cut up your own cardboard boxes and make replacements, you can.
That's rad.
You just need the software, obviously, to make them work. Yeah. But that garage thing lets you do your own, not software really, but your own functions. You could even come up with new ideas that they didn't think of. So there's some really cool stuff that play with that, and it's awesome. But no, I'm not going to get it. But in May we have Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze on Switch, the Funky Edition, which I might get. We'll see what the money's like. That'll be probably around the time we're moving, so I might not need any games. Yeah. And then the full release of Conan Exiles, the Dong game. New Shin Megami on 3DS, and Dark Souls Remastered on all modern consoles, with the first time it's ever been on the Switch at the end of the month.
Weird. Interesting.
So that's pretty cool. Again, you can kind of tell that's like the start of the summer slog. It's like all re-releases and like games coming out of early access and that kind of thing. But you know, some big names there.
Handheld Dark Souls does sound kind of cool. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I don't like Dark Souls, so I wouldn't know. But
cool, remastered too.
And then here it's got BlazBlue in June, which I believe that's an Evo game that comes out what, a week before Evo or something.
I think Evo's in
Evo?
August.
Oh, okay. So like 2 months before Evo.
Yeah, because I was looking
That's
up.
Still kind of weird.
Yeah, I was looking up when it occurs because I had a really fun time talking with Ben while watching Evo last year.
Yeah, that was pretty cool when I could actually be there. But still, it's kind of weird. It's coming out so close to Evo. Like, how are people gonna get pro level in like 2 months?
I'm sure there's a BlazBlue
I'm
audience.
sure. Yeah. I'm
It's
sure
BlazBlue.
there's people out there. No, yeah, it's right.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some people out there that are just like, I'm gonna get good in a week, and then they do, you know. So I have faith in the fighting game community. Let's just say that.
For sure.
Yeah. And the only other confirmed date on this list is Red Dead Redemption 2, October 26th, which was just added because we just got that release date.
Yeah.
So I'm sure other games will probably be coming out around that same time. There's a bunch of others listed here, like Detroit Become Human, Days Gone, Crackdown 3, Darksiders 3, which I don't know if that even got a 2018 release date.
Yeah, I think this is just like
here.
the other games that we know about.
Right, but I think it's ones that have been announced for 2018.
Okay.
Kingdom Hearts 3 has a 2018 release date. I can see that coming out in the fall.
Oh, you see that
Project
coming out?
Octopath Traveler.
You think that's coming out this year? Kingdom Hearts 3?
I mean, the only thing it has is a 2018 date on it. I think it'll be the very end of the year if it comes out this year. But honestly, after like 15 years of development, I'm sticking to that date, that number. I don't think they would go against it. Because this is the first time they've actually put a year on it. People have said that it's been delayed a million times, but this is the first time there's been a year. It's always just been like, it's coming. We were slowed down by Final Fantasy 15, blah, blah, blah. But now that they've got a year on it, they would be screwed if they went against that.
When was the last time we saw anything from Kingdom Hearts 3? I think it's been a while. Like, I was with a girlfriend.
Tokyo Game Show last year, I think.
Last year? Okay. It feels like forever.
No, because we got that new trailer with like the all the Toy Story footage and stuff.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
And we talked about that on the show, so it was sometime last year.
Yeah.
I want to say it was Tokyo Game Show.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yep.
But yeah, and then there's Shenmue 3, Skull and Bones, that Assassin's Creed wannabe, Spider-Man, which if Spider-Man doesn't come out in the next like 3 months, I'll be extremely surprised. But also, why does it not have a release date yet if it's coming out in the next 3 months?
Yeah.
Like they're doing like bug testing on that game. Like it's done. But we don't know anything about it. It's really weird. But I think that would be a perfect like May game.
When does,
I don't know. Anyway,
I don't know. Wouldn't they release that in accordance to Marvel films?
which is May. Marvel,
Okay.
like Marvel month is May.
Okay.
Really,
All right.
it always has been. There's always been some Marvel movie in May.
Okay.
That's when Infinity War comes out, which Spider-Man is in, so that would be a good marketing push.
Yes. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
State of Decay 2, which I think will probably be early fall, like I'd say August or September, because it's not a huge game, but Xbox needs this one, so that would probably be the latest. Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes, which I think has been given a 2018 date. I don't remember for sure, but that's the Switch No More Heroes sequel.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that one slipping to 2019, but Nintendo has said they need a big year.
Yeah.
So they haven't really announced anything so far that's as big as Zelda or Mario. I'm not saying No More Heroes would be, but if they have another like solid exclusive every month, then they be doing a good job still, even if they're not, those big series. But we've already got Kirby, we've got Yoshi, we've got Donkey Kong, even though it's a re-release. We're not going to get Metroid this year. I guarantee it. The most we'd maybe get would be another re-release of the Metroid Prime trilogy, which I'd honestly be fine with. So if we also get No More Heroes in 2018, I think that would help with that. Same with Octopath Traveler, because that game has actually been previewing really well. I think those are kind of the smaller exclusives we could get that would really help. And let's see, nothing else major here. Like I said, Yoshi, I think will be fall, like their holiday game.
Well, the final season of Walking Dead is announced. It says this is going to be the last one.
Yeah. Does anyone care anymore?
And apparently Wolf Among Us 2, like season 2.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, they announced that one with Walking Dead season 4.
Yeah.
Because that was the big one people were excited about, because the Wolf Among Us was so good.
Uh-huh.
Apparently.
Vampire, which is the Don't Nod team.
Vamper.
I think it's just pronounced
There's no E.
Vampire.
There's no E.
He's a gosh darn vamper. He is.
It's a vamper.
Them no good vampers.
Vampire is by the Don't Nod team. People who did Life is Strange and the Remember Me folks.
Get these gosh darn vampers off my gosh darn lawn.
Gotta rub my boomstick with garlic now. Dang vampers.
Gonna stab him with a fence post. And another World of Warcraft expansion is also coming this year for those that care. Apparently that game is still huge.
Yeah. I was just in a conversation with someone today, and they were talking about the World of Warcraft movie, and I was like, I forgot that existed. I kind of want to see that. I forgot all about it.
It was supposed to be pretty good, actually. Like, my brother saw it, and he doesn't know anything about World of Warcraft. He just really likes fantasy stuff, and he said he liked it a lot.
Yeah.
World of Warcraft fans apparently like loved it because it was super accurate. But I don't know. It wasn't my style. I love that director, but the movie wasn't my style.
Yeah, it was Duncan Jones, right?
Yeah. He did Moon, which is one of the best sci-fi movies ever made.
Yeah.
It stars a lot of Sam Rockwell, basically.
Yeah, so that's all the video games that are coming out this year that we know of. Might be a few surprises along the way, E3.
It will be. I don't think I mentioned Dragon Quest XI.
Okay.
I can see that one being another one that just drops, like I said, April or May or so. But there's a lot of these games that I feel like just don't have dates yet and probably should because they're not going to be huge releases.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of weird.
Justin, where can the people find you? All right, thank you. Low.
I am at Zero Score on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, I guess. On YouTube, I've just been doing the Final Fantasy IX story play episodes every week. I haven't really had time for anything else. Life has been getting in the way and ruining my mood. So yeah, look out for those. I'll put some other stuff out eventually, but yeah.
Lo, where are you gonna go? I don't know.
What?
And Lo, where can the people find your stuff?
We are 56 episodes into this podcast, and Thomas still doesn't know how to host.
You legit confused. You're like, where am I gonna go? I don't know.
Am I being kicked out?
You know what it was? I was thinking about what I was gonna say at the end. I was thinking about what I was gonna say at the end. It was like I'm going up north like tomorrow morning, like super early. So I was thinking about that while also throwing it over to Lo. So
I see what happened.
my brain signals are all messed up.
Well, I'm not sure where I'm going, but you guys can find me on Twitter at Nero the Hero, N3R0 THEH3R0. You can also find me on YouTube, Nero the Hero, all with letters. You can also find me here on Chart Chat every week, laughing like a goofy person because these guys make me laugh.
And you can find me, your host Thomas, on Twitter at CSG Thomas on Twitter. You can also find us all here at chartchat.com. You can also email me, thomas@chartshot.com. I'm going up to the woods this weekend, getting away from the technology and the hustle and bustle.
And burn it to the ground.
Burn the forest or burn the city?
I mean, it depends how quickly it spreads.
Good point.
Until then, guys, enjoy your games.
Bye, everyone.
Burn.
Nice.
Do you guys need a break for a second? Grab a drink.
No, I'm good.
All right.
I'm good too.
Let me just grab this over here. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Charge Shut. No. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Video Game Newsy News Show, hosted by your host Thomas and Justin.
Hey, how you doing? Good? Good. Wink. I don't know.
Lo, what's your favorite emoji?
Say eggplant.
What? Oh, emoji. My favorite emoji is the flexing arm.
That's true, actually.
Because I like pairing it with other emojis to enhance them.
I like pairing it with the eggplant.
The arm
Because we all know what that
Strong
means. What are your Saturday night plans? Arm flex, eggplant, cry face.
Aw. This got really sad.
It's fine. I'm married. You know it's a joke. Wink.
This week we are going to break down the news as of February 9th, 2018. I'm just gonna go right into it. The season of love is around us with eggplants and arms, and Valentine's.
Oh, baby. Let's get it on. Continue.
Okay. And Valentine's Day is coming up, and Destiny 2 has a Valentine's Day event.
Really?
Yes. It's called the Crimson Days. It'll include 5 new rewards that are tied to certain milestones. From Bungie, it says, complete the milestone Welcome to Crimson Days by finishing 5 Crimson Days matches and visiting Lord Shaxx. I mean, come on, Shaxx. In the tower to earn the Fire of Crimson Days emblem, and you get an exotic ghost shell. I'm not even gonna say that word. Terrastrala. I guess I said it. Complete matches in the Crimson Days Crucible playlist for a chance to earn Undeterred Exotic Sparrow. Complete either the Leviathan Raid or the Raid Lair. Eater of Worlds to claim the Diesel Punk Exotic Ornament. For the Ward Cliff, which is a really cool rocket launcher for those that don't care or know. And complete the Nightfall Strike during the Crimson Days event to earn the Flaunting Dance emote, which looks pretty nice. So yeah, that might get me and my friend back into Destiny 2. But a bigger news story, speaking of Destiny, is they're changing up how their Nightfall Strike and Prestige raids are going to work. So there was a little bit of discussion about this earlier, that they're taking away the time system in favor for a point system, and now they finally came out and declared it. Basically, your fire team's individual scores will add up to your group's overall score, which will appear in the leaderboards. Kills are the main contributor to the score, although orbs you all generate also factor in. The longer you take, the lower your score. 15 minutes in, you only get half the points, and 18 minutes in, you'll get no points. So there's still a time element to it, but at least you can actually finish the strike without running out of time.
Good. That was annoying. I never wanted to do any strikes.
I know. Every time I did a strike, I was like, fuck this. Like, it would get so frustrating.
Right. You can't have fun because you're too busy rushing.
And you can't really learn the system when you run out of time every time. So at least, like, if you do it a couple times, you'll actually, like, learn how the flow of the strike goes.
Right.
Yeah. So that's good. That's a good change. I'll probably actually finish a strike now.
No, you'd be too busy playing Monster Hunter.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Fashion hunter. Hunt down that fashion.
Let's see. What else do we have here?
Wearing bloody monster hides all over yourself.
I wonder how PETA feels about Monster Hunter. I wonder
They're too busy putting out the Logan Paul fires.
Oh, what's the news with that? I want to hear that news.
Oh, he filmed a dead rat corpse. He was like tasing a rat corpse.
You figure he would learn his lesson after the first time.
There's also something with a fish or something. I don't remember. I don't pay attention to
All right, let's move on.
Yeah.
I just gotta do a token black thing just real quick. Yo, that boy's stupid. Okay.
We needed that. Thanks.
Thank you.
No problem. I had to get it out, otherwise I might I don't know. I might have exploded or something.
I'm gonna isolate that soundbite and play it every time something stupid happens.
Please do. Please do.
You have to have those sound clips every now and then. It's like it's a rite of passage.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Moving on to something a little bit more cheerful, is that Nintendo is bringing in their My Nintendo coins. Did you hear about this one, Justin?
Yeah, I didn't really understand it because I'm not entirely sure how My Nintendo works.
Yeah.
I assume I have coins.
Uh-huh.
Because you get them like whenever you buy stuff because it's linked to your account, but I don't see them anywhere, so I don't really think about it. But I'm glad they can be used for more stuff now. Yeah, that's useful. I just need to like actually look into how they work.
It's just weird because they had the exact same system that they had before, and they canceled it or like shut it down and made a new one.
No, you couldn't. Like Club Nintendo was a different thing. You got points in your games, but you couldn't use them to buy games. You could only use them on the Club Nintendo site to get like trinkets and stuff.
Okay, so maybe this works a little bit more differently.
This actually works where you can like put the coins toward your remaining balance on a game on the eShop.
Yeah,
and any game you buy, you get 1% back on physical purchases and 5% back on digital purchases.
Nice.
So even like small little digital games and stuff, you still get like 5% of the total back in my Nintendo coins.
Mm-hmm.
So if you figure they're probably worth a penny on the dollar, I'd assume. You're getting 5% back. So like, let's say a $20 thing, you're getting what, like 50 coins, something like that. And then those 50 coins are probably worth like 5 cents or something, as far as actually putting it towards a game.
This article
But
here
it adds
says
up.
that it's like if you spend $50 on an eShop game, you'll receive 250 gold points, which equates to $2.50. So you'd probably get 50 cents.
Yeah. Okay. But I'm just saying it's cool. Like, that adds up. People that buy a lot of things, you go to buy a game on the eShop that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise, and you're like, oh, my coins equal like $5? Sure, I can buy this now.
Yeah.
Like, you won't even think about it until you have to use them.
Yeah.
So that's cool. But it starts in March. I'll look into it then.
Uh-huh.
I don't really care until they actually show up in my account and I see them for a game.
Not until it's real.
Because, yeah, I've looked at some of the rewards on my Nintendo before, and they're garbage. It's like 25% off this old Wii U game. Or like wallpapers and random little things like that. Like, at least the Club Nintendo awards were like the physical things you could get.
Yeah.
Because I got a few of those. They were pretty cool. Like, I've got a game case for my 3DS.
Same.
That's like a reversible sleeve
Was it the
Zelda thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I probably
but I'd much rather put it towards games. I'm just saying that my Nintendo stuff has been garbage until now.
Yeah. It's basically been like non-existent almost.
And especially when the coins expire after like 6 months or something. Like, they weren't updating their rewards enough to really make it worthwhile.
Moving on, we got Twitch is now considering your outside behavior of streaming could lead to an indefinite ban on their service. So
there's more to it than just that. But...
Okay, you might know more than me. Damn, like, words. What is wrong with me?
Yeah, so they're changing their guidelines in general. So like you said, as far as like bullying and things like that are concerned, if you get a complaint from someone in a Twitch forum, like if you're, in someone's stream and they're like trying to dox you or whatever, they will look outside of just how they've treated you on Twitch, when making a case against them. So they'll see, how they're acting with people on Twitter and stuff, and they could ban them on Twitch because maybe their Twitch personality is more positive, but you see them do bad stuff outside of it, and it's like, what are you talking about? I'm not bad. Like, look at how I am on Twitch. They're like, no, that's just one example. Like, you're being a dick on Twitter, so they can still ban you, basically. But also they're cracking down on like the nudie streamers and stuff.
Oh, really?
Like the people that wear like scantily clad stuff and like pop balloons for goals and stuff like that. Like those weird people.
Weird. That's a weird fetish, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
It's unclear exactly how they're cracking down on it, which could cause issues because there's legitimate examples like people that do cosplay.
Right.
That is sometimes scantily clad, but is, art in a way, or just people that, wear normal clothes, but just happen to have cleavage. Like if they get reported because they think that they're in cahoots with the other people that are purposely doing this to be sexual, like how's that, where's that line going to be? But essentially they've said that they're enforcing the dress code of like, essentially, if you wouldn't wear it like at the mall, then it's not allowed on Twitch, in a way to kind of cut down on like the bikini streamers and stuff. So essentially they're trying to crack down on bullies and nudies.
Bullies and nudies.
Yeah.
What a title. Sounds like a magazine you get every month. Oh yeah, my subscription to Bullies and Nudies, yeah.
It's a terrible magazine.
I know.
Oh
Sponsored by Logan Paul.
Right. Don't give the man ideas. It sounds like he'll run with anything these days.
Yeah.
God, that boy's stupid.
But I think this is good news, is the point. Like, it's going to be kind of a weird gray area, and there's going to be people that get caught up in it that shouldn't. But I think ultimately it's good to be more cautious than to just let everything go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an
And I
attempt
think
at
it'll make
creating...
for a better community-focused platform in the long term.
Yeah, this is
At the end of the day, it's an attempt to create order, more order, rather.
This is like when WWE had all that scantily clad. Like, they basically had like a new, like, a sex thing happen in the ring at one point.
Oh.
And so yeah, like, basically I think it was like Edge and Lita like had sex in the ring, but now they like clean up their act, so they're a little bit more family friendly. This is kind of like Twitch doing that.
That's surprising. What is it, prom?
Edge used to be a vampire, so I don't know. Moving on, I'm just gonna do a quick announcement for Swery 65. Remember The Good Life, where you become a cat at night, or the town becomes cats?
Yeah, of course.
He's gonna be doing his relaunch of the crowdfunding campaign on March 26th. So this is like a public service announcement for anyone interested.
Yeah, he's doing Kickstarter this time, right?
Yep. And he's reworking all the goals and all that. So it's going to be a bit of a different campaign than the original one that he launched. Probably
Hopefully a better one.
More realistic, yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on, we've got Bandai Namco. They recently released like their sales figures, and what came up was that they were kind of falling short in the games category.
Which is what they do. They're a games company. So
I was just looking for certain I was just looking for certain numbers.
One job.
So in the firm's network entertainment division, which houses its video game operations, 9 months sales rose up by 9.4%, but operating costs slipped by 5.7%. So kind of like that was the indicator that they want to switch over to making new games. Bandai is looking to implement a new 3-year plan to drive certain creation of new properties and strengthen its position in the global market. So yeah, they're looking to invest aggressively in development of new properties by opening dedicated IP creation unit. Man, that sounds so business like.
Yup. Well, I mean, they've pretty much only relied on licensed IPs.
Yeah, like Dragon
and
Ball
even
Z.
good ones, like Dragon Ball Fighters.
Yeah.
Like that game sold well, but it's still a licensed IP. Like those are pretty hit or miss by nature.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Warriors.
Oh,
no,
yeah, like
no.
Are they the ones that do those?
I think they are.
Do they have the Dragon Ball Warriors yet? Have they done that yet? I don't think they have.
I don't think they have, but don't give them ideas, Low. What's wrong with you?
They probably would. They own both of those properties. So.
I can see that. I can see that being a thing. Just imagine, it's like, oh, I'm Goku. I'm gonna fight a bunch of MacGuffin dudes, and then I'm gonna go fight a dude that's stronger than the other dudes.
Fight like 1,000
Wouldn't they all play
Cybermen.
similarly though?
That's true. They would. I don't know.
Because I thought Fire Emblem Warriors was kind of weird because it's just like it's a bunch of sword fighters. Like that's it. But they actually found some variety there.
Even with Dynasty Warriors, some of the characters felt samey after a while. It's like, okay, how many different ways can you swing a piece of metal at somebody?
Yeah.
Right. I thought Hyrule Warriors did a good job of it.
That one actually looks interesting just because it's set in Hyrule. That's what would.
Well, there's a really good character variety, honestly. They all feel great for the most part. But yeah, I mean, if they do all the Warriors games, I'm surprised they're not actually doing better because there's a lot of those. And like I said, I mean, there was Fire Emblem Warriors just this past year, and that actually sold pretty well.
Yeah,
And they've got the remaster of Hyrule Warriors coming this year, and they just had Fighter Z.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
don't they publish Dark Souls?
Yes,
Or
I think.
I can't remember.
So I mean, they have
They
the
do
Souls
something
series,
with it.
Yeah, I think they publish it, and FromSoft develops.
And
it.
they made the last Smash Bros, which if that's getting another release, then
yeah, their sales are like really good, but their operating costs are what's
okay.
making them
I
so,
see.
Yeah,
I
that
see.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, speaking of Bandai Namco, there's rumors abound that they're working on the next Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah. They were Nintendo was very specific in not saying who's developing this, but that it's an internal studio that isn't Retro. And they've been working really closely with Bandai Namco. Like I said, they made the last Smash Bros game. So there was a lot of rumors that it was going to be Bandai Namco. This was reinforced. This is all still rumor, but this was reinforced by the fact that let's see, what did it say? I lost it. There were some job postings for the Bandai Namco Singapore studio that were talking about a secret game that's an ambitious AAA title, a very interesting unannounced project, and an unannounced first-person shooter / adventure IP exclusive to the Nintendo Switch.
That sounds
a lot of very
specific
things. Yeah. We don't know of anything else in that genre that's being worked on. So unless it is like a new IP of some sort, it's probably Metroid Prime 4. Namco's never worked really on anything like this before, so it'd be kind of a strange pick. But apparently they just hired some people that worked on LucasArts Singapore, which worked on the canceled Star Wars 1313, which was that kind of really ambitious like bounty hunter shooter adventure type game. And that style of game would be perfect for Metroid Prime 4. So if they've brought on a bunch of those people when LucasArts closed, and they've been integrated into Namco Bandai, Bandai Namco, I forgot they changed it, working in Metroid Prime 4, that would change everything. If it's just the core Bandai Namco team, I mean, there's definitely worse people that could work on it.
True.
Like Ninja Theory. But
ouch.
Yeah, it would be strange. But also the composer for Metroid Prime 1 through 3 is 1 and 2. 3 was a different one. Is working on this. So if nothing else, it's going to have that really nice atmospheric musical quality, because those soundtracks for 1 and 2 are perfect.
Yeah.
So they already know what they're doing in that area. I have faith that they'll get it right.
Aren't you afraid that they're gonna make Metroid 4 like super anime?
No.
I mean, like they kind of did that with the Wii one.
Or that was Ninja Theory.
I think Team Ninja.
Team Ninja.
Yeah.
That's it.
Team Ninja.
So maybe it's gonna go more anime, because Bandai Namco like works on a ton of anime games. Like all their games are like anime.
I mean, Bandai. That's they're known for like Gundam and all that other
Dragon Ball Z, Tales series.
I hope not.
Yeah, but I think they're working with Nintendo on the game, is what it said.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's just them working independently.
True.
I think Nintendo knows the style for this series, and they're not going to screw that up. They're just going to have Bandai Namco working on like the mechanics of it.
It happened once.
They have a good track record so far between Mario and Zelda. I feel like why of all times to drop the ball, I feel like this would be the worst time, and I don't think they really have an intention of doing so, because, like I said, Nintendo's been doing I've been impressed with like everything they've been doing so far since the Switch came out. So
Well, also this, I mean, they could go more the style of Samus Returns, because that had kind of not cartoony, but it was definitely more bright and colorful than other Metroids have been. And I mean, I'd hate that from a Metroid Prime standpoint, but I could see them doing it. But
I feel like Prime has its own sort of like distinct sort of setting, and there's like only like it needs to have like a certain art style in order to kind of have it, the kind of like dark and just
right.
I don't know how else to describe it. Just like the dark kind of
The
gritty, but
atmosphere
also
needs to
like
be right. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think that like with this being the first HD Metroid, they're gonna want to show off the graphical ability and not do a style. Because this is their chance to like really show like what the graphics can be on the Switch. Because Zelda was technically a Wii U game. Mario was beautiful, but it had a style to it. Metroid's always been their like realistic series, you know? So it's going to have a style, but it's going to look good. I have no doubt about that.
All right.
Yeah. I have more doubts about how they're going to develop it, not how it's going to look.
Fair enough.
Yeah. It's just, you know, Bandai Namco being who they are.
Yeah.
All right. Another news story we got here is Call of Duty. The next Call of Duty is probably going to be Black Ops 4. I know you guys don't really care, but I'm a Call of Duty guy. I'm interested to see where they take Call of Duty 4, because Call of Duty 3 kind of ended on like a cliffhanger. It got into some really weird stuff with the mind jacking. So yeah, I'm just interested to see where that goes for the story wise. Don't really care about the multiplayer for Call of Duty anymore. But maybe they'll put in that Battle Royale mode that everyone loves. Like, I'm pretty sure it's guaranteed.
Probably.
I'm sure you're right, but please don't.
Why not? Maybe it would be a fun one.
I don't know. Maybe it might be good. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm just sick and tired of the game mode already.
Yeah, there are rumors that it's going to be on the Switch though, so I'm kind of curious how they'd play that. Like, I know I'm talking about the Switch a lot, but I'm just curious, like, you know, with this era of a lot of like old ports going to the Switch, I want to see how they downsize a game to ideally be released at launch, like on all the consoles. I want to see how that looks.
I want to see what that online looks like, because when they did it for Call of Duty 2, or I think it was 2. There
were Call of Duty games released on Nintendo consoles well into the Wii U life. They just didn't sell very well, so they stopped.
Yeah, they did Black Ops 2, and that was about it.
The last one was Ghost, I believe.
Was it really? Oh, Ghost.
Yeah.
Ghost wasn't great.
I heard Ghost was really bad.
Yeah. I like the ending, but like the rest of the game was pretty bad.
I honestly thought it was gonna be about Ghost from Modern Warfare.
No.
For a second, but I was like, nah, why would they do that? And then I was like, yeah, that's what I
thought. Speaking of things people didn't think about was gonna happen, EVO. People knew EVO was gonna happen, but they didn't realize that Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite was gonna be taken away.
Possibly.
Oh.
So jump on the rumor train.
So EVO 2018, they tweeted out an image of their games that are going to be at the tournament. We got Tekken 7, Super Smash Bros. Wii U, Street Fighter 5 Arcade Edition, Guilty Gear, X2 Revelator, or Revelator X2. I don't know how that's pronounced anymore.
No one knows.
Dragon Ball Fighters, Super Smash Bros. Melee, Injustice 2, and Blaze Blue, Cross Tag Battle. So those are the games that are going to EVO, and Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite isn't listed there.
In general, there's been releases after this initial announcement, like in past years, as I've read. So it's possible it'll be just like a late announcement, as like a surprise game or something. But I feel like with a lot of the bad press that it's gotten so far after release, that they could have like made that one a given because there's always been a Marvel vs. Capcom game on an Evo. So that seemed like a given that they would do Infinite, or at least 3. And the fact that it's not on here, like it wouldn't be that much of a big announcement to be like a surprise. It's also here. I feel like they could have left off like Guilty Gear or Street Fighter V or something, like another one of those known entities that's like a better game. And it would have just been an exciting thing to not announce.
Man, trying to leave off Street Fighter V, that would be a bold move for Marvel. Like,
well, I mean, huge. To be fair, like Street Fighter V had a really bad launch too. It's only now just like good.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's any way they could have won because it's the fighting game scene and they're very passionate. Any of these games that were left off in favor of announcing it later would have been a big deal. Except maybe BlazBlue, because that's not even out yet. I think that would have probably been the safest one. But yeah, it's not necessarily true that there's not going to be any Marvel vs. Capcom game at Evo. I think it's too early to just assume that. But it is interesting that they didn't feel the need to announce it with the initial lineup when there's always been a Marvel vs. Capcom game at Evo. So yeah, it's interesting. But if there was ever a year to not have a Marvel vs. Capcom game at Evo, it would probably be this year.
Yeah. Especially considering like the viewership and the people playing, the player base has dropped like significantly. Like I think people have been posting that there's like 0 people playing Infinite on PC.
Yeah, once Fighters came out, it was like an immediately drop off.
Yeah. And I'm looking at the Twitch page for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and there's only 46 people watching right now. One stream has 0, one stream has 46. So it's kind of sad.
Yeah.
On a Friday afternoon or Friday night.
But really, like almost all of these games are pretty new. Like have come out this year, or like are re-releases of games from past years.
Well, except for
the only one that's old is Melee.
Yeah.
Which is kind of goofy when you think about it.
They should retire Melee.
Yeah. They should.
Yes.
But people would riot.
A while ago. Yeah, it's true.
It's not.
So like, I feel like there's just been a lot of really good fighting games that came out this year. I mean, there's nothing we can do about that. Infinite was not good, really. It was a decent, mechanic fighter, but the cast list sucks for the most part. It looks like garbage, and the player base hasn't really connected to it. Like, of anything to leave off, that's the one. I mean, it's obvious when there's been so many good fighting games so far this year. Or last year, I guess, technically, but into this year. Because I think Fighters came out earlier this year, right?
Yeah, it came out
it was pretty recently,
few weeks
wasn't it?
ago. Yeah.
Yeah, and BlazBlue comes out later this year, so Arcade Edition just
really
came
good
out
things
too.
about Fighters. I've been hearing Fighters is really good.
Yeah, I want to get that when it's cheap so I can play with my friend.
Yeah, same here.
It looks real good. Just to be comparatively to Super Smash Bros. Melee with Infinite, is Super Smash Bros. Melee has 54 streams going and 291 viewers. So
that's still pretty low.
It's still low, but like it's still higher than Infinite.
Yeah,
which is crazy
for a 10-year-old game. That was it wasn't a launch title on GameCube, but it was pretty close after launch.
Yeah.
So that's been 16 years probably.
Yep. Community is still alive for that. It's crazy.
Jeez.
But yeah, there you go. Just some anecdotal evidence, I guess.
Well, maybe they shouldn't have screwed up their game.
Yep.
Put Wolverine in there.
Yep.
Speaking of Nintendo properties, we've got the last news story of the day. Nintendo confirms Toad's hat is actually his head.
Which sent people ablaze.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Why? Is it because of that one stupid scene from the cartoon like all those years ago where he uses his hat as a freaking... Who cares? That's not canon.
It's not. Yeah, it's not canon. But I guess there's been a few other examples. Like people pull out like in Mario Odyssey when he's got a hat on top of that head thing, which should be proof that it's a head, but people are using that as an example that it's a hat. I don't understand. And then there's like a throwaway comment in like a Paper Mario game, I think, which would be canon to be fair. And he says something along the lines of like I'd tip my hat to you, but you don't want to see what's under here.
Oh,
implying that, you know, if he pulled it off, it would be gross. But that's just a joke saying like this thing looks like a cap, but it's my brains under here.
He's a mushroom. It's called a mushroom cap. I mean, it's a cap in the sense that it is a mushroom cap, but that's a mushroom. It's attached.
Yeah. Have you ever ripped the head off a mushroom? There's not a mushroom face under there or anything. Come on, people.
That actually reminds me of this parking sign I saw a few days ago. My fiance and I, we were going somewhere to pick something up, and then on the parking spot it said Princess Parking. All others will be towed, but it was spelled T-O. And I was like, "Oh, that's funny." she's like, "Oh, why is it funny?" I was like, "Because it's like a Mario reference." She's like, "Oh, I always thought it was like a frog print sort of reference." I'm like, "Oh, no, because that's a frog print though. It's not a toad. It was always a frog print. Frogs and toads are different." So yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a Nintendo thing, not like a general like frog prints type of thing, because it was toad. So right. It was just interesting because she's not a gamer at all. So it's funny because we just saw like two different things.
Just so prejudice and just assumes that all amphibians are created equally.
Maybe there's a toad prince out there, but nobody's heard about him. That's for damn sure.
Come on, they're very different.
They are.
Probably think all white people look the same too. That's the only one that's safe for me to say. Okay. But no, the other little bit in here before we move on that I thought was funny was this is all like in an interview with the director of Mario Odyssey. And they just like ask the most absurd questions. Like it's not like normal, like how was this game to make? It was like, so what's up with Mario's belly button and stupid stuff like that. And so there's a Toad question, and then there was also asking about Mario's relationships with Peach and Pauline.
Yeah.
Because they're both in Odyssey and both seem to kind of have a little bit of a thing with Mario. And he said he wasn't going to confirm or deny anything about the relationships. And he says, I would appreciate it if we could respect the privacy of those three at this time. Which basically confirms that Mario's a player. And Italian, it's basically it's a polygamous relationship with Peach and Pauline.
Yeah, it is. It's totally is.
Italian.
Yeah.
He's Italian, man.
And that's just great.
You know,
I guess no wonder that Peach feels free to, spoilers for the end of Mario Odyssey, to wander off on her own and, you know, just go on adventures. He's still got Pauline at home. His sheets are warm. She can come back whenever she wants.
Mario's sheets are always warm.
Especially he got that.
That's the title of this podcast. This is the title of this episode.
Mario's sheets are warm.
Mario's sheets are always warm. That's gonna be the end of the show, guys. Justin, where can the people out there find your stuff?
They cannot find me in Mario's bed, that's for sure. I am at Zero Score on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, all the places where you look up Zero Score, and I'm there, unless it's an imposter. Got Final Fantasy IX story play continuing every week, and that's about it on my side. Also charged up whenever that isn't canceled. I'm not bitter.
Oh. Awkward. Lo, where can the people find you?
It wasn't canceled by anyone here, to be clear. It's miscommunications.
Here I am laughing again. You guys can find me on Twitter at Near the Hero, N3R0, THEH3R0. You can also find me on YouTube, Near the Hero with letters. And you can find me here every week with these fine gentlemen, laughing like a goofy person.
And you can find me, your host Thomas, at CSG Thomas on Twitter. You can also find me here at charshot.com. And you can also email me, Thomas, at charshot.com. You can also check out our Patreon, where you can support our show and help us pay for the hosting, because hosting isn't cheap. And until then, guys, enjoy your games.
Bye, everyone.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
It was.